It's time for my Week 7 college football predictions. We have got a loaded slate ahead of us, so without further ado, let's just get into it. A top 10 battle between Indiana and Oregon. The Ducks' signature win over Penn State maybe doesn't look as great as it did a couple of weeks ago, but what I still value is how Dante Moore looked. He looked comfortable, he looked confident, and the offensive line has gelled beautifully this season. That was a big concern for the Ducks, but it doesn't look like a concern between the white lines. I really don't see the path for Indiana being disruptive enough to shake Dante Moore, especially at home. I think the Hoosiers are going to get theirs. I think they're going to score a lot as well. But I think the Ducks are going to pull away here. I think this one's going to feel similar to like the Big Ten championship game last year, like a 42-37 Oregon win at home. Alabama heads on the road to play Missouri. This is kind of a difficult spot for the Crimson Tide. They're coming off of back-to-back physical, emotional games. Now they have to go on the road versus a team that has not had to leave home so far this year, or they did for a neutral site game, but they haven't played a road game yet. Missouri, with all their guys, Bo Pribula, Ahmad Hardy, they've kind of been off the radar, not on the national radar. I think they get on the radar this week, and I think it's because they upset Alabama. Ohio State heads on the road to play Illinois. We've seen the Buckeyes start slow on the road before, and Illinois is genuinely a good team. A lot of people wanted to sell them down the river after their blowout loss to Indiana, but they've responded pretty well over the last couple of weekends. The issue here being we've seen what happens when they come to a screeching halt in that Indiana game, and Ohio State is perfectly capable of doing that exact same thing. And also, if the Buckeyes get out to an early lead, you don't trust Illinois to be able to move the ball like they were able to do versus USC and Purdue. In the Red River rivalry, we've got a fantastic game between Texas and Oklahoma, two elite defenses going at it, and I don't even care if John Mateer plays in this game. I trust Oklahoma to manufacture offense more and move the ball with Ben Arbuckle, and even if it's Michael Hawkins Jr. at quarterback, Texas has just been so clunky and so inconsistent that I think they'll probably make more mistakes. I think they'll be more inconsistent. I think Oklahoma wins. Florida's riding high after their upset victory last week, but I think this is just too tall of a task to march on the road and beat Texas A&M. It's a tall ask, especially considering how much the Florida Gators have been on the road early this season. Just a tough draw for them. I think A&M wins. South Florida heads to North Texas. North Texas has just been flirting with disaster a couple of times. They got a couple overtime wins. The defense has been spotty, albeit very much improved from last year. I think Byron Brown and the Bulls are capable of taking advantage and getting a nice road victory in conference play. USC and Michigan delivered us a classic last season. I expect this year to be no different. I think it's going to be a fun back and forth game with the Trojans just getting that last drive to go ice it at the end. I think Bryce Underwood could be due just for a little bit of inconsistency down the stretch here. Arizona State heads on the road to play Utah. It's been a house of horrors for them. Leavitt's looked inconsistent at times. Same can be said about Utah's offense, but I just think the home field advantage will be the difference for the Utes. There are a billion blinking red lights telling me Auburn is going to upset Georgia this weekend. They're off a bye. They're at home. They have a good defense this year. Georgia's played back-to-back physical games. I think the Auburn defense takes control. I think Auburn pulls off a shocker. South Carolina heads on the road to play LSU. They have the players to pull it off, but I don't know. Based on what I've seen so far, even in Cocktober, I'm going to pick LSU.